Why would anyone want to smell like that? Ew. Disgusted. I blind bought it. I did. I smelled that leather. I was like, girl, what did you do? What did you do? So I'm Tashara. I'm back with my second video. I hope you all are here because you watched the first video and you liked it. But if you're new here, then I'm going to reintroduce myself. I'm Tashara. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I love fragrances. If you love fragrances too, and you might be interested in the content that I'm going to be putting out, then I would love if you will subscribe to my channel. Now, my channel actually isn't new. I didn't mention that before. It's actually 8 years old, but I've never used it to actually put out content. I've used it just to watch content, but I want to be on the other end now. I want to switch things up. I have things to say, and I'm going to say it now. You know, I have arrived. With that being said, this video, I want to talk about my favorites. So, I mentioned one of my favorites, which will always be my favorite, Baccarat Rouge. So I'm not going to talk about that today. But I am going to talk about another favorite that I mentioned, which is Mojave Ghost. Mojave Ghost. So I'm actually going to talk about the Absolu, which is the newer version. So this is Mojave Ghost. It's a little bit fruitier. It's more intense. It lasts longer. Now, a lot of people complain about Byredo. This is the bottle. A lot of people complain about Byredo, the brand, saying that their scent doesn't last. I completely agree when it comes to Gypsy Water, but I don't think I've ever had a performance issue with Mojave Ghost. Because there's been times when I douse myself in Mojave Ghost. I'm an oversprayer. And I would put my clothes like in a hamper or throw a coat in the closet. And when I reopen that closet, I would smell Mojave Ghost all throughout the closet. So that's how I know the scent actually lasts. Maybe not on skin, but definitely it lasts on clothing. So if you like the original Mojave Ghost, but you felt like it had performance issues, you gotta try this one. And you may like this one more. I can't pick which one I prefer. I still love the original. I just felt like it was just so good. I didn't think it needed any improvements. But this is actually really good, so I had to get it too. So that's one of my favorites. And next up, I'm going to talk about Casamorati Dama Bianca. I have the mini bottle. Definitely, this is going to be a repurchase, and I'm definitely going to upgrade and get the bigger bottle because this is like one of my favorite vanillas. This is so good. This gives princess vibes. This is regal. This feels like I belong in a palace. Like, it gives Bridgerton. I feel like the characters on Bridgerton, the women, this is what they smell like. This is, I believe it's kumquat, which is like a lime. And then it has this smooth vanilla. The vanilla isn't too sweet. This is like simple, but it's elegant at the same time. It smells so good. But for me, I feel like this has a performance issue. And I haven't worn it in a while. So I think I'm going to wear it this week, test it out. Because I've been letting this one sit for a very, very long time. 6+ months. So I got to give this another go. But this, love at first sniff. It instantly jolted up to like top 5 for me when I smelled this. Love. And this was a blind buy. 2025, I'm telling myself I'm not going to blind buy as much because a lot of my purchases are blind buys. So next up, I'm going to talk about an affordable fragrance, and it's also a clean fragrance. And this one is 7 Virtues Amber Vanilla. So this is a your skin but better scent, which is one of my favorite scent profiles. This is simple. It's amber, it's vanilla. The vanilla isn't too sweet, but the amber is smooth and it's airy. And this, it's so good. It's so good. I love it. I feel like it's not too much to say about this one either. It is what it is. And if you like skin scents if that's your jam, I feel like you need to try this one. And the next fragrance I'm going to talk about, this layers so good with it, and that's Diptyque La Papier. These layer so good together. So I'm going to talk about this now. Diptyque La Papier. So this perfume here was not a love at first sniff. I was repulsed when I smelled this. I smelled it on a tester strip, and that was the issue. Smelling this on a tester strip, what I got was old dusty library books. I was like, why would anyone want to smell like that? Ew. Disgusted. And then I ended up purchasing a fragrance from Neiman Marcus, and I was sent a gift bag with the purchase, and it had a sample of this, a 2 ml sample of this, and I sprayed it on my skin, and I fell in love. So I had to have a bottle. So I bought a bottle when I could get it at a good deal. Oh, this is so good. It's cozy, it's slightly sweet, it's comforting, and this also falls into the your skin but better scent category. I'm telling you, it's one of my favorite scent profiles. I have a lot of scents that fall into this category, so I'll do a dedicated video on that scent profile, but right now I'm just going to discuss my favorites. This one has notes of mimosa, which kind of smells like steamed rice. It has, I think it has ambrette, and it has a lot of musk. This is like the perfect fresh out of this shower, I'm just chilling and relaxing vibes. Like, this is what this is. Perfect for bedtime, daytime. I get compliments whenever I wear this. Once I get my eyebrows done about 2 weeks ago, and I wore this layered with another scent, and my eyebrow tech was just like, you smell good. As always, you smell good. So yeah, that's one to try. Next up, this is the musk of all musks. Initio Musk Therapy. This is citrusy, it's fruity, very musky and powdery. It's so good. Compliments every time I wear this, from adults and children. I was complimented by my 5-year-old niece when I wore this, and she was 4 at the time. I recently wore this on Thanksgiving Day, and my sister came to pick me up, and when I got in the car, she said, what perfume are you wearing? It smells really good. The next day when I was checking out of my hotel, the front desk clerk wasn't very friendly, but when I walked away, she said, Miss Davis. And I turned around, and she said, what fragrance are you wearing? It was this, Mojave Musk Therapy. And she instantly looked it up, like, okay, I'm buying this. I was like, yeah, she's that girl. So this starts out with citrus notes, and it has bergamot, and then it has, I believe it's blackberry, not blackberry, it's another berry notes, and then it has a thick musky base with sandalwood. It's very powdery, but it's so fresh. This is like an everyday signature scent, like perfect signature scent. I don't have a signature scent right now because I can't decide because I have too many loves, but this could definitely be a contender. And then Labo Another 13. I've had this bottle for probably a year now, but I used this much up in about 3 months, and then I stopped because this is pricey and I'm not ready to replace it, but it's so damn good. And this one, when I first tested it, I got nothing. I'm like, I don't smell anything. But I kept going back to the counter, and every time I went back to the counter, I couldn't smell anything, so I blind bought it. I did. Because I needed to try it at home. I needed to know, like, what the hype was. So I blind bought it, and I sprayed it on myself. And then it hit me, and I was like, wow. That is what I've been missing out on all of this time. I need it. I had it. I mean, I blind bought it. But it quickly became a love and a contender to be a signature scent. I was wearing this almost all the time. This was practically my signature scent for a good 3 to 6 months. It was so good. It smells so good in the air, like in the cold when the wind is blowing. This is like the perfect scent. And I would always get compliments when I wore this. And this falls into the Your Skin But Better category too. So if that's your vibe, you gotta try this one. Some people say this smells like Baccarat. No, not really. It's his own thing. But I get it. I get it. So next up, Parfums de Marly Valaya. So I couldn't get into any of the Delinas. I really did like one, but I wasn't ready to commit to it. But when I smelled this one, it was love at first sniff. Love at first sniff. This has a lot of aldehydes, so you have to be into aldehydes to really appreciate this. It starts out with a heavy dose of aldehydes, and then I believe it has lychee, and it has a lot of a musk, and it has some woods. And this scent, let me tell you, this lasts forever, ever. On clothes, on skin, like this stays with you. And this is one that you don't need too many sprays, but I'm me, so I'm gonna overspray anyway. But this lasts, and this is why I barely put a dent in this bottle, because it's so strong. If you like scents like Fleur Narcotique or Ormond Jane Levant, then you might like this. If you also, I feel like this is like a Chanel vibe mixed with Fleur Narcotique or Levant, because it has the aldehydes, which is like a Chanel thing. But this is another compliment getter. This is one to try. And this is PDM Valaya. And then we also have another Parfums de Marly here. This is Delina La Roseé. Or is it just La Roseé? It's just Delina La Roseé. This is my favorite of the entire Delina line. This one is fresh. It's watery. It smells dewy. It's like a perfect summer scent. One of my favorite rose scent. Like, so good. The rose isn't thick and heavy and dense. It's like a soft pink rose. And again, it has the lychee, it has musk, and it has this dewy, I think it has peony. I feel like peony leans very like watery, floral in scents. This is so good. I love wearing this in the summertime. And this layers so good with Valaya. So good. It also layers so well with Another 13. This is a banger. I remember I wore these two layered, and I got on an elevator, and then someone texted me like, did you just leave? I said, yeah. And it was like, I smell your scent in the elevator. Yep, that was me. Next up, this was another blind buy, and this one is Xerjoff La Capitale. Like, this one is like so different from the other perfumes I just mentioned. This is very femme fatale. It's dark, it's edgy, it's sexy. This is the sexiest scent in my collection, in my opinion. And I have other ones that lean sexy, but this one just does something to me. This one is like an aphrodisiac in a bottle for me. Okay? And I blind bought this. And when I blind bought it, I kind of regretted it, because this was my first introduction to leather notes. And when I smelled that leather, I was like, girl, what did you do? What did you do? This smells so masculine. I was like, instant regret. And I let it sit for a week, and I tried it again. I'm like, oh, something is going on here. Another week went by, I tested it again. Love. So this is strawberry, it's caramel, it has saffron, and then it has that leather. And the leather was off-putting at first, but as this fragrance sat, the leather tones down. It's still there, but it's not doing too much now. Oh my gosh. This smells luxurious. It smells expensive. It's very femme fatale. Like, I feel like this would be someone like Angelina Jolie's signature scent. I don't know. She just gives off this vibe. This is so good. Love. This is in my top 5. And it's not going anywhere. It's going to stay in my top 5. So again, this is Xerjoff La Capitale. And my next up was not a blind buy. I actually bought a sample, so good for me. I'm getting better because the blind buy was getting out of hand. But I got a sample of this, and as soon as I smelled it, I need a full bottle. And that is Liquide Imaginaires Blanche Bete. This is so unique. I had never smelled anything like this when I first smelled it. This smells like a coconut lover's dream. And the thing about it is, this doesn't have coconut listed as a note, but I get a heavy dose of pure white coconut flesh. You know, not like the raw coconut, but the coconut that's ripe, the one that has the brown hard shell, that white meat. That's what I get in here. And I'm a coconut lover. I love eating coconut. I love coconut water. Coconut. I love coconut. I'm a coconut girl. But this, oh, it's whimsical. Okay? This is a unicorn in a bottle. This has like a note called mystical, which is synthetic. But I feel like, yeah, I get the mystical in this fragrance. I definitely do. But this is tuberose with sandalwood and vanilla and musk, and this is so good, and it projects. And this is another one that's like a compliment getter. It's so good. Love. Top 10. My top 10 is like top 15, top 20, but I have so many loves, and I think I'm just gonna talk about two more today. No, I'm gonna do two more. I feel like this video is going on and on. But this one, this is Antoine Barrois, Tilia. I have the mini bottle, but when I finish this, I'm gonna get the bigger bottle because this is so good. This is fresh. It has this like grape Jolly Rancher essence to it. It has lindenwood, which is like a floral plant. And it has that Quentin Beige DNA in there. Can't really describe it, but his scents kind of just smell otherworldly, and this has that like quality to it. It's so good, and this is another one that lasts like all day. I wore this to work about 2 weeks ago, and one of my favorite coworkers came over to me and was like, I need a hug. Can I have a hug, Tashira? And I hugged her. She said, you smell so good. What are you wearing? And it was this. I had my bottle in my purse, and I pulled it out and showed her, and she took a picture, and she said, I'm buying this. I'm buying it. It smells so good. And I hear that this smells like La Perla Possibilities, which I never had the opportunity to smell. I'm hoping it comes back one day. But so many people have said this is a very close dupe. So I'm going to take their word for it. Like, people like Demi Rawling have mentioned that. So I'm going to take her word for it. So if you like La Perla Possibilities, but you can't find it, then try this. Demi Rawling said so. And I want to talk about one more. And this is Kilian Roses on Ice. And I want to talk about this one because I feel like this is like most hated of the Liquors collection. And this is the only one of the Liquors collection that I have. The only one that I love. And I felt like was worth the money. Angel Share to me was way too sweet. But this was love at first sniff. This smells like an expensive cucumber rose water. I don't see how anyone cannot like this, but I think what people don't like about this is the cucumber, which I love. It gives this very fresh take. Have you ever had like, I get one of my favorite drinks is a cucumber martini, like a cucumber mint martini, and this gives that vibe of a cucumber martini with like pink rose petals for decor on top. That's what I'm getting from this. It's so good. It smells expensive, it smells luxurious, and it lasts. I wore this the other day because I've neglected this because I have so many fragrances now, but I have a backup bottle, and this is like down to the little itty bit. It's almost done, and I don't know, what anyone else smell, but I think this deserves its recognition. So I'm giving it its flowers. Kilian Roses on Ice is my favorite. I think is the best of the Liquors collection. And with that, I'm done with my favorites. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I had fun. I really did. I love talking about fragrances. I really do. And if you liked this video at all, please give it a thumbs up. Please share, tell a friend to tell a friend. And please subscribe. Please subscribe. I'm going to keep putting out the content. That's my goal for 2025. I want to grow my channel. I want to do what I love. So it's definitely one of my main goals for 2025. And that's why I'm here. I've arrived. I am. I'm coming out of my shell. I'm putting myself out there. And whatever is meant for me will be, right? So with that, I want to say thank you for watching if you made it this far. And until next time, bye.